Yeah, so a bit of a mixed bag of a performance. There was lots of positives in terms of what we did. Really good start to the game. We got on the front foot, got an early goal, which was really positive. We changed things a little bit yesterday, so a bit of a change of shape. Obviously, some different personnel. So, as I said in my conversation with Andy after the game, really that you can't really operate now with a squad of just 14, 15 players, and we've got quite a few that are on the injury and on the treatment table at the moment and kind of in rehab. So you're going to need a bigger squad, but when you've got a bigger squad, you need to make sure those players are getting opportunities. So those boys had some of those opportunities yesterday for minutes and chances in the team, and so there was lots of positives that we did, but. Yeah, so a good start. Conceded some disappointing goals though in the first half, and that kind of put us under a bit of pressure. But in terms of our second half performance, and we made some changes off the bench and just tweaked our shape a couple of times. We had a really positive second half. Got back into the game with a good goal from Shea. But yeah, disappointing then. We almost conceded pretty much straight after, and that kind of we kept going right to the end, and we created opportunities right to the end, but we weren't quite able to apply the pressure that you need to in that situation. But it was a good exercise for us. The lads put in a good shift. We're disappointed to go out of the cup. We want to try and win almost every game that we go into. But with the time frame of the game being on a Wednesday and obviously a big game for us on Saturday, it felt like the right opportunity to give some opportunities for some of these lads. So disappointing, let's say, to lose the game, but there were certainly positives to take out of it. Alfie Young. 16 years of age, has been doing a really good job in our under-18s. Great to get him a competitive game. Charlie Smith, 17 years of age, his first starting goal. So these are really positives as well, and they're good moments for us in the club, and shows where we want to be in terms of promoting young players. But with that aside, you're always going to have those moments and that experience that sometimes counts in games like yesterday. So yeah, we'll move on from it. We've got a big training session tonight ahead of Saturday, but not really disappointed in terms of the performance, but just disappointed about the cup really. Yeah, so Lewis Williams has moved on to Beerswade United. Lewis is a player that I worked with in the past, and he really wanted to make sure that he was playing, and he's at that age now, and he's got some good experience at the level, and over the last maybe month or so, he hasn't quite been in the team as regularly as he was when he first came in. So that's absolutely fine. I want lads who want to be playing football. I think that's important as well. So we wish Lewis the best. Like I say, he's had a good impact for us so far this season. We've got other players who can fill that role down that left hand side, but so that's good for Lewis, and I'm glad that he's going to be going and playing football. We have got a few lads, like I say, who have got knocks or kind of injuries, and that we're trying to manage through a little bit into the weekend. So there's a bit of a question mark around that. We should have Joe Hankins back in training, which is positive. Joe fractured his cheekbone a month or so ago, so he's back in training. We've got some other lads who are going to need assessing tonight in terms of their availability for the weekend. Sammy, who's been out through concussion, so again he's another that we're trying to work back through the process to see where his availability is. So yeah, look, we've got some work to do today to try and see what our squad looks like for the weekend. But we're happy with where we are. There might be a little bit of room for us to do a little bit more work in terms of adding another face or two. Which we'll look at probably after the weekend and see how the weekend goes. So look, it's a bit of an evolving process, which we always knew it would be in terms of where the squad sits. But no, we're happy with where it is at the moment. Yeah, so Cockfosters, we know it's going to be a really tough game. Gav's got his team going really well this season. Really good defensively. Really tough to play against. So first and foremost, we're going to need to make sure that we stand up and match up to that. They've got threats all over the pitch. Real quality certainly in the wide areas and through the middle at the top end of the pitch. So we're going to need to be able, to try and negate that as much as possible. But we've come off some good results in the league. Certainly against Potton, that was a good win for us. And yes, MK Irish, our last home game was a really positive performance. So we'll be looking to kind of replicate that. As I said, we've still got a little bit of work to do to kind of figure out exactly how we're going to be able to set up and who's going to be available for us. But we'll be confident. As I say, there was some good stuff that we saw from the lads last night that we'll look to take forward. And in general, the squad of those players who are fit are all in good form and competing for places. So look, as I say, we know we're going to need to be at our best to get something. They're top of the table for a reason, and they've had an excellent start to the season. We're going to need the home support. It's really important for us, and we saw that in the game against MK Irish as well. That when we give them something to get behind, that it's a really powerful attribute for us and helps us in the game. So we'll need that again. But yeah, really excited by it, and I want the players to be excited by it as well. And as I said, today is going to be about kind of recovery for those that were involved yesterday, but we'll be prepping for Saturday and working our best to get 3 points.